Hi. So, um, well, since I don't have a lot of followers here anyway, and I don't think anyone's really watching whatever I'm posting, but my current goal is to post regularly in here, because I believe, from what I've been learning, consistency is key when it comes to posting stuff on the internet. So yeah, and I've been doing this approach where I'm like, okay, so nobody really follows me or cares for what I post right now, except for my really like close friends. So why not post something in English? Like, I really miss speaking English all the time. Like, I had a job where I used English a lot, and when I was in my year abroad, I felt when I was getting really good, then I had to come back to Brazil, and then I don't really English don't really use English a lot in my daily life, except for like I read stuff and listen to music, I watch a lot of videos, and there's like dog barking, and there's some construction going on, so maybe there's some noise, but anyways. The goal for this video is to talk about how my life has been going lately. So I've made a decision. I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, okay, so this is my craziest dream, you know. And I'll tell you two of my craziest dreams. Okay, so I think the first dream that I really would like to, it's like a crazy dream in my mind, is to work on the internet, creating content and stuff, which is kind of scary, because I think it does involve a lot of vulnerability and a lot of work. I've been since last month, since April, I've been trying to post more constantly on social media, and that's hard. It takes a lot of work. Like editing videos is kind of complex, a complex job for me. I am really learning, and it's very interesting at the same time, because I feel that you have to keep looking at yourself, and you have to keep seeing the mistakes that you made, and you have to edit, which is a very hard skill for me. I'm a person who likes to create like really intricate things. I'm always like remembering one thing that connects to another thing, and in my mind it makes sense, but to the people who are listening to me, they're just kind of like, oh, okay. And my closest friends, they get it now that we are closer and all, but a lot of people, I think they listen to me talking, and they're like, what is this girl doing? But yeah, I think I always liked social media ever since, like, I'm from Brazil, so like my first social media ever was Orkut. Orkut. I don't even know how to pronounce. How do you say Orkut? Orkut? How do you say Orkut in English? Anyways, that was my first social media. And one thing that is nice about Orkut is that I'm going to say the way I say in Portuguese. You're gonna see in the subtitles. Anyways. But Orkut was very much about community, right? There were the communities where you would discuss specific subjects, and you could leave scraps for your friends and testimonials on what you think of that person, why you love them, why they are your friend. But I really liked that. I really liked interacting. I think like for us millennials, using social media was a very new way and a really cool way of interaction. I remember that Orkut, you had to have an invitation to enter in it, just like Facebook, but it arrived earlier here, at least. And wait, let me see the year of creation of each one. Founded year for Orkut, 2004, and Facebook, 2004 as well. Okay. February of 2004, Orkut was January 22 of 2004, and the owners was called Orkut. You probably already know that, but anyways. So yeah, they have like less than a month, like 15 days difference. Okay. So, and then there was MySpace, which was really cool. I think my favorite social media social network ever is MySpace. I think I still have an account on MySpace, but it's not really used a lot anymore. But I think it was the coolest. It was really nice, and I think MySpace is what really introduced just having any sort of contact with people who are famous, with artists that we like. And then there was Facebook. Facebook got popularized in Brazil, I think, in the late 2000s. I have a Facebook account since 2009, so it's 15 years. 15 years of an account in a social media platform, which is crazy. That's the weirdest thing, I think, about getting older. Like, everything has been happening for so long, right? Like, it's been 20 years since I graduated high school, and it's been 15 years since I am on Facebook. And that is so weird. That is so crazy. But I always liked it. I always liked posting stuff and interaction with other people's posts. And I really like social media. I think it brought us a lot of problems, but also a lot of cool things. You were able to get to know really different and interesting people in a manner that wasn't really possible before that. And I think I always liked communicating to people. I graduated as a teacher. It's the first profession that I had was being a teacher, which is basically communicating all the time. I always was a person who talks in front of people, who gives, little, meditations in church and stuff, and teaches classes. I teach Sunday school. I have taught Sunday school for since I was my early 20s. And even though it took me a long time to be able to say this confidently, I really like speaking in public. I remember the first time I kind of admitted it to myself when I was doing my first graduation. And the teacher gave us 2 options: either do a test, take a test, or do a written essay, or doing a spoken presentation in front of the class. And I immediately chose the presentation. It was like I love writing, but I would much rather be able to articulate what I was thinking if I were able to speak in front of the class. And I wasn't really scared of that. Of course, like when I'm speaking, I get nervous, or when I have one of the hardest challenges for me in trying this whole content creation thing is definitely turning on the camera and speaking and then posting it later, especially scripted videos. That's why I wanted to try this non-scripted type of video like this one, because I get really nervous. I get really nervous when I'm in front of people as well, but I feel that once I start speaking, it gets easier and I feel more comfortable, and this is maybe a little easier because I don't have people looking at me and I can see their reactions as I speak, and I start kind of reorganizing what I'm saying according to the reactions that I'm seeing. So this is different because then you say all you have to say, and then people are going to react later in the comments, and I hope so. Yeah, but this is my first like crazy dream, and I don't even, of course, I mean, I'm an adult who has bills to pay, so of course, if I make money out of it, that is definitely something I would really, really love, but would make me really, really happy and accomplished. But most of all, I feel that, especially considering that I have a very technical job, a job that is very much, you know, spreadsheets and reports and meetings and all that, and I do like that for the job, for my money-making endeavors, but I really miss having like a creative outlet, having a place to talk about all of the random things that I like, and the random things that come to my mind, and I think that's the main motivation that I have for doing this. So I had a few ideas. I do watch a lot of stuff and read. I don't read a lot of stuff currently because ever since I graduated in letras, I don't know how to characterize, but letras, which like roughly we can translate for letters, is a type of graduation here in Brazil, where you do grammar, literature, and writing, and everything that involves languages, and you usually specialize in any specific language, but we also have more general studies like linguistics and literature theory. I graduated specializing in Portuguese and English. And studying literature at university definitely got me, made me read less. All of the reading in university, when I was in high school, I was in high school between 2002, 2004, so computers were a thing, but not like, we had a lot of paper files still. So we had this chart's not the right word. What is the word? I forgot. A library card. So the library card had like, you had to write down the book and the date when you got it, the date when you had to return it, and I had like 2 or 3 per year. I would read a lot, but since I started studying at university, and I was studying literature, but I started reading much less, and then COVID came, and after I had COVID, I had my concentration, my attention span got really, really, really bad, and now I can read better and longer. But at the beginning, I had to read out loud what I was reading. I had to at least start reading it out loud, or else I couldn't really pay attention to it. And of course, there's, social media and cell phones that really make our attention span terrible. But I think because of the anxiety that it gives us, like, because we want to check updates and we want to see if have any notification if our friends sent us a message, or if there's something new that suddenly appeared and it's extremely important. And yeah, so I do consume a lot of stuff, and I saw this influencer. She's an organization influencer, and she was talking about how our brains are not supposed to be retaining that much information. Our brains are made to receive information and then create things and push those things out of our heads, and we have to absorb so much, like, all the time. So that really led me to start finding ways to push things out of my head. So two things that I started doing last year in order to do that was journaling. But before journaling, I started doing therapy. So I meet my psychologist every 2 weeks, and we talk about life, and she challenges me to look at my life in a sincere, honest way, and to think of what do I need to do, what kind of action I need to do in order to live my life better and more aware. And then I started journaling. I started therapy in like April, and then in October I started journaling. I don't really write every day, but most days, I would say like 3 to 5 times a week, I journal, and I also have like a planner where I write what I did on the day, what I ate, and it's not really a way of like control, especially when I say I write down what I eat every day, but really in order to be able to remember what I did and remember how it was, and being able to recollect things. But it's been really nice. I think journaling has been something I always kind of did my whole life, but never this regularly. In the past, I think 5-6 years, I got much better at using planners throughout the year. I usually have a slump around like March, April, which I think it's common. It's I hope whoever they're going to get is fine. But I think since I was in school, I had that March, April, especially April slump. I still have that. And that has been really nice. I feel that for some time my life was kind of passing through when I realized it was Friday, when I realized I had spent a whole weekend like sleeping most of the time, and now I've been more aware of all the time I have and all the things that I can do. Something that really helped a lot with it as well was that I started medication. October, I think, September, October last year as well. Um, it has been a few years since I last had medication to help me with my mental health. But it really improved concentration and it really improved organization. I am someone who has a lot of difficulty being punctual, and really I think honoring the commitments I made to myself. And I think medication has helped a lot, like to kind of clear my head and be more present. And of course, I've been doing active efforts in order for all of that to happen, of course. But it's really nice to have these things to help, right? So the therapy, the journaling, the medication, and really making an effort to get out of the house, to meet people, to talk, to be out there and love people and let myself be loved by them, and really building friendships, building good relationships, and doing things that I like outside of work. I think that's a big part of it for me to want to do this. I like to do my journaling. I like to do my during pandemic, I think 2020, I took a lot of care of my nails, so I always had my nails painted, and that was a whole other thing that I could do, kind of a hobby. I really like doing it's not jewelry, but like beaded, like bracelets and stuff. I started doing that back again last year because of Taylor Swift's concert, and I still have like a whole box full of stuff. And I have some stuff that I used to do that when I was a teenager. So I even have like beads from the time when I was a teenager. They are really old. They are over like 20 years old, and they're still here, and I do little things with them, so that's really nice. I've been starting to learn to crochet. I kind of already know. When I was, I think, like my early 20s, I think even before, like 18, 19, I took crochet classes at church, but I decided to try to do it again because I really, really want to lower my screen time and my social media time. Light is really weird. It's because it's the end of the day, so lighting keeps changing. Anyways. And the things I do at church, like I work on I don't know how to say that in English. Let me think. I don't know how to say. I'm the person who is on the computer and passing the lyrics so the church can sing. And there's like, you have to learn how to use the program and teaching new people how to do it. And I teach a Sunday school, which is a different thing as well, and help with the young people, teenagers in church, and all that is like a lot of different things. I love watching TV shows, and since like 2021 I've been especially obsessed with K-dramas and K-pop, so that really gets me thinking that there's a lot of different things that I can do with my life, and that I don't have to just work. And why that is so important to me is that my previous job, before this one that I have now, was a very hard, very difficult environment. I did have burnout when I was there. I did have very complicated co-workers, a very complicated, I would say, work environment, you know, like a lot of pressure, competition, and and there was a lot of great people that I still cherish to this day, but there were a lot of crazy people as well, and bad people. And when I was fired, of course, at first I was very shocked. I was fired in December of 2019, so and I only got a new job in November of 2020. So that is the job that I am in to this day. And I think when I was doing the process to start my current job, I had to take a test. And then the person who interviewed me, he was like, I got your test results and I see that you really care about having good work-life balance. Which is weird, right? When you say work-life balance, it's like work is one thing, but work is not life. You know, so I think in Portuguese we have more of a better term, I think. We like to have a balance between our work life and our personal life. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, they're not going to hire me, because like which employer would like to hire a person who really prioritizes having that balance between work life and personal life? And when I was hired, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And this new experience, this new environment that is a pretty healthy environment, in having had many, not many, but a good number of previous jobs and previous different work environments, I think this is the healthiest one that I've ever had in my life. So I made this like pact with myself that I wouldn't let work eat up so much of my life anymore, that I wouldn't let my life be all about work, like happened before, because that really broke me in many ways, and my mental health, I don't think it ever fully recovered from my workaholic times. And that's why I've been really prioritizing finding other things that fulfill me besides my job. I don't really intend on doing things on the internet and then making a lot of money and stop working, because work for me is a very important part of my life. I mean, of course, like, I don't think that's going to happen, but like, if it ends up taking up as much of my time and giving me as much money as my job gives me, I mean, of course, but that's not really my goal. My goal is to be able to put out there in the world as much as I can of my brain, and of the things that I like, and have this different space where I can do these wranglings and talk about random stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. I think this is for this first entry of my journal here on YouTube. This is a good start. Yeah, this is a good start. So yeah, this is my first Delulu dream that I'm going to pursue. I'm going to post things on the internet and hopefully create a nice community around that, where we can talk about stuff and have nice dialogue and have nice conversations about random things and maybe make sense of all those things that I have like in my head, which would be very nice because my head sometimes is a very tiresome place to be in. and it's your mind is the one place you can escape, right? There's unless you're doing like bad stuff, it's very hard to get out of your head, to not really think. I think the only moments when I don't think, I don't know, where my mind is like cleared, is probably when I'm driving because I have to focus on the road. So yeah, I don't know if this made sense, and I don't really think this is a very this is a video that can get a lot of engagement, but it's important. It's an important video for me, and I'll try to do some of these videos, and they are, I think, mainly for myself, for putting things out there and having this different way of journaling. Because when I say a journal, like I do have a journal where I like write stuff like morning pages kind of journal, and I do have my planner where I write down the things that happen in my daily life. But I really like this idea of having different ways of journaling, and they all complete themselves in a way. Like I have all these different places where I document my life. Yeah, this is it. If someone gets here to the end of this video, please leave a comment and tell me if there was something that I said that you also think, that you also feel, if there's something you would like me to talk about. I like to talk about everything, so really. And look forward, I'll be posting new videos here about things that I watch, things that I read, and also ideas that spark from that. And well, now at the end, I will say that I had an idea of something to do that I'll try to accomplish in the next weeks, slowly but surely. So I usually connect like a lot of different things. I feel that sometimes there's a certain subject that is kind of following me all around, and I watch a TV show, I watch a movie, I listen to a song, and I read a book, or I remember a poem, or something that a friend says, or that the pastor says when he's doing his sermon in church, or a YouTube video, an Instagram post, anyway. All of the random things that I am consuming on my daily life, they start kind of, some of them start connecting, and I start creating this whole, having the whole thought process with all these references in it. So one thing that I want to try doing here is talk about each of these references separately. So if there's one thing that people don't know that is in the middle of that essay, you can like click a link and I'll be talking about that specific thing. And after I post all of the parts of the puzzle, then I post the puzzle where I put all of these things together. I do have some of these kind of ready. So, and I don't know if you understood, but it's like I'll be posting the clues, and then I'll be posting the whole thing at the end where all of these clues connect, all of these different references connect. So we'll see. So I am preparing posts on that, and I hope you like that. I hope you engage on that, and I hope this works out. If you know of someone on the internet that does something like this, I would really like to know, because I don't really know anyone. And I don't think it's a new thing. I just... I follow some people who do essays here on YouTube, video essays, and I really like that, but I think the difference is that is the way I will be doing it, because my mind is different from their mind. So yeah, today I created a playlist here on YouTube. I created one for TV shows, one for movies, and one for essays. And today I put an essay very interesting by Mina Lee. She has a great YouTube channel, and she talks about friendships, and she connects like Stanley Cup and Sephora twins and chicken, and talk in third spaces, and she's talking about how difficult it is to have real friendships nowadays. And I think it's the kind of thing I want to do. So I really recommend you watch it. If you click on my channel, you are going to find the essays playlist, and it's the only video that is there as of today, May 9, 2004. But I want to add more essays there that I love to watch. I love to watch that on YouTube. I think it's some of my favorite content. That and people cleaning their houses, or doing organization, or doing planning, or doing bullet journals. You know, that kind of video. People cooking and going about their routine. And since January, I've been having this whole MLM, anti-MLM video obsession. I've been watching a lot of those, and the main influence that I've been following is, now I forgot her name, that's great, Hannah Alonso. She's great. I think she's very compassionate and truthful and direct at the same time. It's really nice. Her content's really good. She speaks. Her way of talking is really good, like the words she uses and all that. And she does a lot of reaction content that is more like spontaneous. So I think she's great, and I really recommend that as well. So yeah, I'll link her channel on the video description. And that's it. If you got here, thank you so much for listening to me talking crazy stuff for so long. And please comment. If you got to the end, please comment, let me know. Like, just say like, I watched this to the end. I just want to know. Okay, that's it. See you soon in the next video that I promise will have like a more specific subject. See you. Bye bye.